Well, welcome back to the Gateshead International Stadium. It is the 81st English Schools Athletics Championships, and plenty of people enjoying the weekend, following family and friends. And this is where champions really are born. We're taking a sneak preview into the future of British athletics beyond London 2012. And might Roy Ejiakweku be among them when we get to the next Olympics, with the benefit of a slight following wind in that 200-metre inter-boys final. 21.71 his time. Not his fastest time of the weekend, but he is the champion. Matthew Hudson-Smith, who may well have, I think, a pretty rich future at the 400 metres in second place there, 21.76. And it was Jack Crosby of Cleveland who came through for third.
Well, Will Pawson certainly came through in the final stages of the boys, intermediate boys 1500 metres from Gloucestershire, 4:02.94. James Lambswood came second, 4:04.26, and Michael Bleasby third, 4:05.25. Good race in the end, slow to start, quick to finish. Well, from one 1500 metre race result to a final, intermediate girls final. There we've got Becky Straw, Poppy Disley-May, Walcott Nolan, Jessica Judd, watch out for her in the fourth lane, and then Jenny Nesbitt, Abby Hetherington, and Jasmine Finlay, Ruth Bourne. And now we'll have a look at the rest of the lineup now. It's a big field: Grace Howie, Lizzie Bird, Danielle Wallace, and Lucy Campbell. It's a big field, but it has some real gems in it. Well, certainly Jessica Judd. Jessica Judd there for Essex, represents the Chelmsford club, 4:14.21 her best. But she's 13 seconds on best form, better than anyone else in this field. But it'll be interesting to see how she runs this, because she is selected for the World Youth Championship in Lille in France between July the 6th and the 10th. Oh, I've not seen that before. Well, that was Abby Hetherington, the second principal in this. Just wanted to get on with it for Cumbria. Nervous look on that face. She's... Three and three-quarter laps of the track then for this 1500 metres, and Jessica Judd has gone straight out into the lead to take control of this race. Once she's out in the front, she can establish the tenor of the race. She's followed there by a whole host of athletes who would expect to be there at this stage, of course, and Abby Hetherington in second place. So the two principals in first and second at the moment, and one would expect them to start to move away from the rest of this field. They certainly would. In third place from Hertfordshire, just looking at Lizzie Bird of Hertfordshire, got a best of 4:32.78. She was third in the intermediate group in the schools last year, so this is her second year in it. But certainly Jessica Judd has got records at under 15 and under 17 level over 1500 metres. She's got the under 17 3000 metre record, and second in the United Kingdom all-time 800 metre ranking. So there's a terrific range there, and I didn't expect that she would hang around in this. They said she wasn't going to go flat out, but then do just enough to win it, but at the same time she would want to control it, and she's doing that. And with this sort of lineup, then one would expect her to try and control it. And Abby Hetherington behind her knows her well. We've seen them both on the country, in the inter-counties. We've seen them dominating races in the mud, on the grass. And there's a real underpinning of strength endurance, which of course the speed endurance has been built on top of. And look at this now, how far they're already moving away from the rest of this field.
You have to applaud Hetherington, though. She could well have taken the pragmatic approach and said, look, I'm not going to win this race. But she's followed Judd, certainly for 400 metres and more here. Judd starting to get away now by 6 or 7 metres. But will Hetherington perhaps have compromised the silver medal, which she may have thought is hers? She's just getting caught a little bit there by Reeve Walcott Nolan there in third place. But Judd, in a 3-year career at the English school, she's only ever been beaten once. She came second when she came to the took part in the junior race at these championships, a year young, and finished second then. But since then she's been invincible. We saw her run away from her field 12 months ago in Birmingham, And I think we're starting to see the same thing happening again today in Newcastle.
Well, the junior champion last year, or rather in 2009, she was second in 2008, but really has a whole host of championship medals to her credit. And we've seen one or two outstanding athletes in the championships thus far this afternoon, but this young woman is really going very strongly. We mustn't forget to mention Reevie Walcott-Nolan of Bedfordshire and Luton. She's in third place at the moment, behind Abby Hetherington. Abby Hetherington was second in the English schools last year, won the under 15 in the English event. That's England schools, but with 400 metres to go, or less than 400 metres to go, this has been a real effort, a controlled effort, and it's really gone very much with the form book. Jessica Judd, totally and utterly in control, and into the back straight with 300 metres to go. Abby Hetherington in second place, content now to hold on to second place, and she's done that. And I think the challenge and the change may well be for the medals in third place, because in the chase is Jenny Nesbitt of Hereford, and we may well have a battle for third place here, and because we've got a bronze medal, and we know about the gold, and I think we know about the silver most certainly, but I would just wonder whether Jenny Nesbitt can challenge Walcott and Nolan for the bronze medal. I'm not sure she's going to have the firepower. She was closing down, and encouraged by the fact that she was closing down. And let's see the real battle, but on the home straight, a real class act from Jessica Judd. We wish her well in the World Youth Championships in Lille in France in July, and that's 4:21, and a very, very good performance indeed. Abby Hetherington comes into second place, and of course Nolan Walcott-Nolan just hangs on for the bronze medal ahead of Jenny Nesbitt of Hereford. But there is, and I think we use the word star because she is a young star, and already Amelia Goreczka controlled her race earlier on, and of course Jessica Judd controlled hers as well. Total and utter control. Wonderful performer, mature beyond those years quite clearly, and has a good racing brain, and just gets stuck in right from the gun, and away she went, and no one got close.
Well, it's a hat-trick of English schools titles for Jessica Judd. Those World Youth Championships, they start on Wednesday in northwest France, in Lille. She will be among the medal contenders there, I'm sure. But a good blowout here, and this was the early stages of the race, but really she just turned up the heat, and she ran away from the field, and to her this was little more than a slightly demanding training run. But Jessica Judd, her third straight English schools title, and she's still got 2 more years left at school after this. Fine performance by the Chelmsford athlete.
Wonderful, wonderful composure, deep in concentration, eyes down. The feeling is good, the result is even better, and the smile completes it. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at that face. That's a face of a young woman who is going from strength to strength as she gets older and older and more mature.
Brilliant. Could you there? Well, Jessica, congratulations. A fine win. You led from start to finish. Was it as easy as you made it look?
No, not at all. The setup this year has been amazing, and people in the race have just been fantastic, so I knew I had to go out hard and just hold it on.
This is your third consecutive title. How important have the English schools been in your rise to fame?
Oh, it's just been amazing. I love English schools, and yeah, it's just a fantastic event, and it's helped me get this far, so thank you.
Well, without embarrassing Jessica too much, Catherine Murray, what do you make of this lady's incredible talent?
It's phenomenal. You know, I think Jess is being modest, because I think we all knew that she was going to come here today and win by a big margin. And those World Youth Championships, of course, are next week. So it was a case of, did you really want to come and win 3 in a row that badly? Because we knew you were going to win by a big margin. Not embarrassing her, of course.
Yeah, I really wanted to come here and do my best because my school this year has been fantastic, and the pupils there and the staff have just been amazing, and Team Essex, so it's just great to come here and represent my county and do well.
And if you were sitting down with the likes of Jessica and all the winners at the end of today and giving some words of advice in terms of, you know, becoming an Olympic medalist ultimately like you, what would you say?
Continue to enjoy. Continue to enjoy it. Surround yourself with good people, which Jess is already doing in terms of UK Athletics and club, and I'm sure with friends and family as well, and keep focused on those big prizes. I know you've got a big week next week, and I'm out there in Lille with her and the rest of the team, so no, it's just keep enjoying and keep going forward. And it was a phenomenal run today, so very well done, Jess.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, look forward to seeing you compete right the way through the summer. Let's get back to the action now, so it's back to our commentary team.
Well, I think we can bring you the result of that last race, just to underline it, confirm that marvellous performance. Jessica Judd's time, 4:21.15. Abby Hetherington of Cumbria, 4:27.48. It went with the script with those two. And then Revi Walcott-Nolan of Bedfordshire, just holding off Jenny Nesbitt for the bronze medal, 4:29.83 to 4:30.44. Good race and a good demonstration in an end from a young woman who is a real talent. 100 metres coming up next. It's an intermediate boys race. They'll soon be ready. Oh, there they are. And there's the start list. Martin.
Well, the leading three athletes in this intermediate boys 100 metre final all ran lifetime best in their heat, so they meet in the form of their lives, and you can just see them there putting their blocks onto the track. And just to reinforce that point, for the younger age groups beneath the seniors, they've not been allowed to use blocks until the final, so they're going through a slightly different routine ahead of this final. So you'll see them putting the blocks in and then going through one or two rehearsal starts. But let's look at the athletes, shall we? Middlesex represented on the inside. You can just see him there wearing 54, Anthony Jeffrey. The Shaftesbury Barnet Harrier, 11.17 is lifetime best. The English Schools Championship record, by the way, Mark Lewis Francis, when he ran 10.54 in 1998. That was when the championships were held down in Exeter. Jordan Connell of London is in lane 2. Connell, 11.20 in his heat at a lifetime best. Adam Thomas, well, Berkshire have enjoyed some success in the sprints already today. Can Adam Thomas give them another gold medal? The Bracknell athlete, 11.10 in the heat. That a lifetime best to get through to this final. He's the Berkshire Schools champion. Middlesex well represented in this final, as they are most of the sprint finals here at the English Schools Championships. John Autogardi, Shaftesbury Barnet Harrier, the second one in this final. Equals second fastest qualifier through to this final. Broke 11 seconds, 10.90. Very fast starter is Autogardi. Kelvin Tyru of Essex, Newham and Essex Beagles, the winner of the English under-17 60-metre title, that indoors over the course of the winter. The fastest qualifier, 10.80 for Tyru. Anton Daly of London, second in that, or should I say third in that indoor 60-metre race in the winter. Daly 10.90 his best time. Matthew Greenhow of Northumberland, Gateshead area, so somebody for the locals to get behind. Yet to break 11 seconds. Could today be the day, though? And Joe Birth-Jones, the Cambridge Harrier, wearing the sky blue of Kent in lane 8. He's the Kent Schools champion at both the 100 and 200 metres. So to give you some idea of what may lay ahead for these athletes, Mark Lewis Francis, well, he won this title in 1998. 2 years later, he was the world junior champion, and 4 years after that, he won an Olympic gold medal running the anchor leg for the British team in Athens. Could we, perhaps not in London next year, but at the Olympic Games 4 years after that, see one of these men representing Great Britain? The athletes to look out for in lanes 4, 5 and 6. Autogardi of Middlesex, Tyru of Essex and Daly of London. So from the far side, Jeffrey, Connell, Thomas, Otagardi, Tyrrell, Daly, Greenhow and Berth Jones. It's the final of the intermediate boys 100 metres. Well, you just saw there a very early break from John Otagardi of Middlesex. Nerve, Stuart?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he knows the fella in lane 5 well. I mean, Tyrrell is just slightly faster than him, 10.80 in the heat, so he will know that he was a tenth faster than himself, so he just wants to get a good start. And of course, if you get a good start here, you can establish the rhythm of the race. Here comes a yellow card, just to warn. It's just on that one athlete, just to repeat that again. It's the old false start rule, so he's got to be very, very careful. Let's have a little look at that. Yes, absolutely.
We can't be too harsh on these youngsters, Stuart, but so early, there's a little bit of indiscipline there, isn't there?
They certainly have to learn their lessons early.
So for the second time, the athletes have to go through their routine. The final of the intermediate boys 100 metres. Well, it's the biggest day of their athletic lives so far, and breaking well there. Fourth from left is Tyrrell, wearing the colours of Essex. Daly alongside him, but it's Tyrrell who's breaking clear. Otagardi, I think, came through for silver. Third was Daly, but there is the champion, Kelvin Tyrrell, the Newham and Essex Beagle. He's the man who coped with the delay the best. Came through very strongly in the second half of the race, and he is the intermediate boys 100 metre champion.
Well, not only that, he's increased his personal best from 10.80 to 10.77, which is very, very commendable indeed. It was a good, solid piece of controlled running from 60 metres out. It was not entirely clear whether he would win, but in the end he did hold his form very, very well indeed. He's clearly enjoyed that. Let's have a look from the start. Thomas from Berkshire got away well, just off your shot to the right of the picture. But the big three, the three principals here, Daly was always in the mix. Let's have another look again at this. Daly got away well, and certainly, if anything, Otagardi didn't get away too well at all. But Tyrrell, look at this, the way he's away now. It's a clear win, really, in the end, and it went very much to the form, but with Otagardi in second and Daly in third. Let's have a look. Just sheer power, these young men. The powerhouse intermediate boys over 100 metres, 10.77. Good win by Tyrrell.
And one thing I want you to look at here, Stuart, look at the sprint start of the champion. Look how low that head was.
High on his toes, hips high, relaxed in the shoulders, and he just ran right the way through the tape. No dips at all, just really went for it. Very, very good performance by Kelvin Tyrrell of Essex, the Newham and Essex Beagle. Well, Mick Hill is with us, and Mick, there have been some field events in action already in these championships.
That's right, yeah, they've been going on all afternoon, but we've been too entrenched with the track, but here we are. We can catch up now with the women's senior girls women's long jump. Here's Gabrielle Roswell from Dorset. This was in the second round. She's got a personal best of 5.72, and that looks incredibly close to it. And there you go. Couldn't have been closer on the plasticine. That whiteboard is 20 centimetres, so you've got to get as close as you can to the plasticine without hitting it. She did that extremely well. The wind's been swirling around in there. And there we see the wind's 1.8 and a new personal best, 5.76. That was good enough for the bronze medal. This is Sarah Abrams. She was the pre-event favourite, having had a personal best of 5.98. She had two failures in the first two rounds, so this jump had to get in, and again incredibly close to the plasticine there on the board. She had two big fouls, and there you see she's got a couple of centimetres to spare. This was a silver medal jump of 5 metres 97. We'll get confirmation of that in a second. And there it was, you see, two no jumps, and then that one. Had that been a no jump, she would have been out of the competition. She was expected to win today, but she didn't. This young lady, Rebecca Chapman. We see her getting ready to take a jump. Her personal best coming into this competition was 5.86, and this again is in the second round. The wind must have been helpful then, and that's a superb jump. And we'll wait for the measurement, but again 2 or 3 centimetres to spare on the board. And Rebecca obviously now in personal best form, and when this is measured up, she's absolutely delighted. And there it is, 6 metres. That's the first time she's jumped 6 metres. Moves up to 3rd on the UK under-20 rankings this year, and that was good enough for the gold medal. She doesn't look too happy with it, but superb performance.
Well, they're getting ready now for the senior girls 100 metres final. Let's have a look at the result of that intermediate boys 100 metres final, with Taro of Essex 10.77, 1.2 metre per second. Just an interesting to look at those wind speeds. Atogari of Middlesex 10.88 and Daly of London 10.92 in 3rd. Well, the senior girls out: Emma Jackson in lane 1 for Humberside, Caris Hall of South Yorkshire, Laura Robson of North Yorkshire, Georgie Lamothe of Berkshire in lane 4, Melissa Hanson of West Midlands in 5, Eleanor Ball, Surrey in lane 6, Olivia Callaghan of Greater Manchester in lane 7, and Frances Slater of Hertfordshire in lane 8. Well, it's a big crowd in the home straight. Lots of encouragement for these athletes, and the principal lanes 4 and 5, Georgia Lamothe of Berkshire wearing number 5, 11.92 her best. Hanson 11.83. she's ranked 6th in the United Kingdom overall. Had some successes in the All England schools at under 17 level as well. So Jackson, Hall, Robson, Lamothe, Hanson, Ball, Callaghan and Slater, the senior girls 100 metres final. No problem with the start at all, and Hanson's got away well, certainly. And here comes Lamothe on the near side. Lamothe going well to Hanson, and Lamothe, it's going to be Hanson who's going to win this. Hanson's going to take this. Lamothe is in 2nd place. In 3rd place is Laura Robson, I think, and that was 12.10. Her best 11.83. So a good win, not particularly quick. I was just looking, we'll see when we get the result caption what the wind speed was on that, but there have been plus wind speeds behind them. But that was a very good run indeed. Whilst Lamothe looked as though she got a good start there and looked as though she might challenge in the end.
Yes, you mentioned the time there, Stuart, and the 2 principals in that race, Hanson and Lamothe. The only 2 athletes to have broken 12 seconds in this event. And we're hearing the wind reading minus 0.2, so it shows that wind is swirling about quite a bit. And you can see just breaking away well there was Melissa Hanson. She was the quickest through the first 50, and in the end she's won that with a fair degree of comfort. She won't be too concerned about the time. It's all about coming here and taking the title. So victory there for the athlete wearing 83. Melissa Hanson, the Birchfield Harrier, wearing the colours of West Midlands. She is the senior girls champion.
Yes, indeed. Wonderful look of relief there. We've just seen the senior girls 100 metres winner. Wondering what on earth's going on, she said. She's been told she's on the television. What, me? Yes, it's you. Well, we've had the senior girls 100 metres championship resolved, and of course, as always in these championships, one of the blue ribbon events is the senior boys 100 metres. That's next after the break. Join us then.